Okay, so I wanted to do some kind of video today that has nothing to do with freaking ninjas or politics. This one, by the way, it's gonna be a little weird because I'm gonna be going off on some philosophical tangents, just weird stuff. I guess I can consider this some type of thought experiment for you guys to do whatever with, because that's what I like to do sometimes. I used to come up with my own little premises and kind of go off into Wonderland with it and come up with some weird stuff, and it was fun. And this is one of the ones that I worked with a long time ago, and I presented it to some people, and they're like, "Whoa, that's kind of effed up." But we were able to do some interesting observations with it. It doesn't really have much basis in reality. What I'm about to say, I am not saying it is true. I am not saying I believe it. It's just something, I don't know, to playfully spin around your noodle or something. Take it for whatever, I'm sure some of you guys I'm sure all of you guys have at least heard of chess. The game, your pawn, king, bishop, whatever. Shut up. If you at least heard of chess or played chess, and I've played it a couple of times, I like the game and stuff like that. And I remember when I was much younger, this was like years ago, still living in New York at the time, and I was thinking about chess because I was playing a couple of really good matches with some friends of mine. I'm honing horn, I'm thinking about the nature of the game itself, warfare, your army against that army, and the tactics and things like that. And I was also thinking about how people tend to liken chess to real life, like they're saying that chess is the game of life. There's some people who take it really seriously. And I started thinking, have you ever noticed that when you're playing chess, you're playing basically a game of war? It is like an ancient war game, and the object, of course, is to take out the king. And obviously, if it's a war game and you're trying to take out the king, well, obviously, when you're playing two opposing armies, they're supposed to be like deadly enemies, and you're killing pieces. Like, send this bishop over here. Ah, shit, you're threatening my queen. Send this knight. Boom, he's dead. Killing pieces and you're claiming them and stuff like that. So it's warfare on the battlefield. It's supposed to be two major enemies. But when the game is over, the two people who are playing, assuming there are no hard feelings, mind you, but then after the whole warfare is over, they go out and have a beer or something, or they just part ways. There's no hard feelings. It's just a game, It's just a game. But then I started thinking about real life. At the time, I was also heavily in my debates against religious people. Go figure, me having debates against religious people. And I started thinking about how people view God and the devil, no matter what religion it is. It doesn't have to be Christianity. Islam has its own version of it. Judaism, everyone has their own version of good versus evil, And I was thinking a little bit about the war that was always the eternal war between heaven and hell, or good and evil, or angels and demons, or gods and whatever. Always, or giants, or whatever, good versus evil metaphors or archetypes that particular mythologies or religions happen to have had. And I was thinking that, there's always supposed to be some type of eternal war, but when you read these myths, people who are supposed to be mortal enemies sometimes are goody-goody with each other, or if at least not goody-goody, at least on speaking terms. For two parties that are supposed to be locked in eternal conflict, it was rather odd to sometimes read ancient tales of them just talking. No weapons barred, no lightning flash, no explosions, just, hey, how you doing? What are you doing? I happen to be doing. But, alright, take the story of Job, for instance. It begins with, God assembling all his angels together. I don't know, maybe they were having a team meeting, and the devil shows up. And you'd think, okay, oh shit, Satan, pull out your weapons, swords, everything around, and then he just strolls over. And it basically amounts to God going, hey, what's up? What's up? So what you been doing? I've just been, walking around the earth chilling. And you met this dude, Job of mine. He's supposed to be real loyal. Yeah, I think I've seen him. The only reason why I think he's loyal to you is because, you've been blessing him. And so they're having a conversation. There's no warfare going on. This is supposedly the guy that he kicked out of heaven for trying to, start a revolution. And yet, they're chilling. Well, yeah, only according to Milton, but I said supposed to. How people take this out, yep, completely out of context. Talking to my friend. still, you know, that got me thinking, and it got me thinking about chess. Let's suppose this religion stuff is real. You know what I think, and I'm sure a lot of you guys watch my channel. I know how you guys think. But let's just say it's real. Could it be possible, just possible, that all you guys were thinking about this eternal war between your God and whatever version of your Satan you may have might just be a game? And then at the end of the day, they just go out and have a beer? Because if you look at some of the scriptures, it would suggest that. And it's not just in Christianity or Judaism or Islam, many different mythologies. You got them just, hey, what's up? What's up? I mean, maybe they might go to war later on, but sometimes they just happen to be, hey, how you doing? What's up? Like, whether I don't know whether there's a truce going on or a white flag, but it's interesting how they can, supposedly these major arch enemies, you know, these like mortal enemies, are able to be sociable to each other at these times. And it seems the only people who go crazy and die in these sort of battles are the humans, the people, the pieces on the board. You know, let's just say, for a little, you know, I know it's absurd, but let's just say you're playing chess and the pieces actually are alive, you know? And you are their God in a sense. I mean, you're always eternal to them. No matter how many times you have war going on and pieces die or whatever, there's always going to be another game, and you're generally going to be there. As far as they know, you're always going to be there. And whoever you happen to play against consistently is always going to be there. And each side believes that you're their God, and they believe the other side is supposed to be their devil, and you fight. And you know, you got your pawns, the regular followers, you got your knights, the people who are willing to fight for their God, you got your bishops, interesting bishops there. You know, you got your church leader, you got your queen, your king, and of course the object is to take out the king, the pope. And you just go out and you send the pieces, and they all fight and they all die and whatever, and then the thing is over, and there's, oh my God, Armageddon has happened in our chessboard world. And I know this is absurd, it's insane, but again, I'm not saying any of this is true, and obviously how the hell could it? But it's just a thought experiment to think about for those people who are so locked into their religion. Have they ever, well, of course they haven't, this is kind of a weird thing to think about, but I mean, really, in looking at these different religious texts, wouldn't you think that it's just a game to these gods? I mean, there are certain mythologies out there where they point blank think that the gods are playing humans as pieces in their own little game. And we don't understand what the game is about. We're just pieces to be used for whatever they're doing, you know? I say he plays Yahtzee, not dice.
No, he plays an intricate game of his own device.
Nice. My wife and friends are going off. But, yeah, seriously. I guess it's just something for you to play with, you know? It's just a thought experiment to play with. Just, you know, what if it's all a game? Are your mortal enemies in your religions really that as mortal enemies as you think? And are you just simply chess pieces being played in this game that you think is total Armageddon, but then when the match is over, okay, let's go out and have some pizza? They're clowning over there now. Yeah, it's just something to think about, because I know that, you know, when I'm playing chess with friends of mine, or back when we used to have some major matches, sometimes with only, like, you know, we only got 5 pieces left, you know, 3 pieces left, you know, chaotic things on the board, and then after that we go out and eat, and chill, talk, whatever. But if the chess pieces were alive, they would think that we were mortal enemies. I wish I could say this exactly the way that I thought of it when it was in my head, because it was a lot more clear and a lot more precise, and the way I said it to my friends later on, it was just like, they were like, whoa, like it was deep, which it isn't deep, it's just a thought experiment. Just a flight of fancy, I guess. I don't know. Give me your own impressions, guys. Tell me what you think. I'm just rambling.